All right, we're coming to you from Viking Funding in downtown Fort Lauderdale. I always want to bring you guys more information, more content, and so forth. And so we're going to be visiting a number of different companies in the South Florida area. And first is Viking Funding. So I'm sitting here with our co-owners, Tylor Pemberton and Jake Kelley. Guys, welcome and thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Talk to me, a little bit more about your backgrounds. Tell me who you guys are, and then we'll get into what you guys do as a direct funder.
Sure.
Jake Kelley. I've worked in this industry for a number of years. Worked at a direct lender before. I wanted my own thing, and had Tylor come in here with me. Knows a lot of stuff that I don't know about other aspects of business, and here we are.
So I was in finance in the automotive industry for a while ago before this, so that helped me get a better understanding of the actual credit side and the underwriting and the deal structure and how to get a deal approved. And then most recently, I ran a construction company here in South Florida, so I got to see the the day-to-day business side of it. Especially from an industry that we actually fund a lot. Jake's been in the industry for years, so he wrote me into this, and here we are.
Very good. Right. And so talk to me a little bit more about, why you're in finance now, right? So why does this really appeal to you guys, and you guys are growing this business? And then tell me more about what you guys specifically do.
Yeah, I got into this business a number of years ago and pretty much fell in love with it right away. I like the higher ticket stuff. And then obviously, after doing this for several years, you see a lot of people that you're able to help with this type of funding. But on our side, you also see what a great business it is too. There's a lot to it. Underwriting, getting someone to accept an offer, collections, but at the end of the day, it's a pretty rewarding business and, more fun than some others that I've been in.
Good. Okay. And just so maybe someone might be watching, it's revenue-based financing, kind of working capital, on the shorter term of things. What about yourself?
Yeah, same. So I didn't even know about the industry until I was in construction. So we would have, we've been friends for a long time, and we would have months in the construction business where we had great months on paper, like sales, 2-3 million a month in sales, but that doesn't really equate to money coming in to the account. A lot of companies don't even know about revenue-based financing. So we were in a position with a new business not being able to qualify for anything conventional. So that was when he taught me the business and we learned about it. And it makes sense. It helps a lot of people if you use it the right way.
And that's a huge thing, I think, for really small business across the country, right? As a new business, super hard to get capital and to even be prepared, to get capital. It takes a while to get things in place, right? Whether it be the business credit, revenue, time of business, industry, obviously, construction being a challenging one, to get done, but it's absolutely able to get done. Give me a little bit more. You're in a beautiful building here. The office looks amazing. Yeah, you guys have a lot of things going on, seemingly. What was it like to get this office going? What was the process like?
It's tough. It's fun though. Yeah. Seeing it all come together. But I think just building the right team, number one, and then just the infrastructure, right? You got to first create the process and then refine the process. So I feel like that's where we're at now.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting to the point where we're funding deals consistently and the deal flow is going up.
Mm-hmm.
We just got to get more brokers that we want to work with signed up with us and just work on scaling it.
Okay. Processes, systems.
We've seen on the other side things that lenders do that we don't want to be. That's why we try to be just direct with people, quick feedback. He's great. He looks at every single deal himself in terms of underwriting. So I think speed and efficiency are really something we're focused on.
Yeah, and then like you said too, having the right people as far as brokers too. We have a handful of people right now that send us stuff over, no explanation, and we're kind of guessing. Like we're not.
They don't give you the story of the deal, at least a couple sentences or something.
No, they don't give us the story, and we're a little bit smaller than some of these large companies that are in this, and it's helpful to have a little explanation so we know where to start, or so we can tell you right away, this isn't for us, we're not going to win this. We don't want to waste your time, find something else, So that's what I like. We've got, some people that are doing well for us, and that's the thing with them. We know they've spoke to the merchant. They know for the most part what gets the deal done, and that helps us be more efficient and get stuff done together.
Is there anything you want to point out as far as underwriting guidelines that brokers should know when working with you?
Well, we have specific underwriting guidelines that they all know and work with, but just the basics of good merchant control, knowing what they want, what they're going to use it for, what really the deal looks like, helps us price it out quick and get them a good answer. So really just good merchant control.
Anything else you want to add as far as what brokers should know when working with you guys?
realistically, because we like to be upfront with people too. I mean, we're not going to fund $1 million or $2 million deal.
Mhm.
You know, right now, most of the deals that we're doing are anywhere from, we would do as low as 5,000 and up to 100,000. So we try to be sort of straightforward on that with people too, because I know there's a lot of people that say they fund 2 million, don't know how many of them really do, you know,
Right.
so we don't want to have anybody feel some type of way when they send something over and we don't come anywhere near that, you know. So 5 to 100. I mean, the average term would be about 4 to 6 months. I guess it could be longer if we like the deal. And you know, me, I'm doing a lot of the underwriting and speaking to these people directly too. If I like the person, you know, and we have a good conversation, I mean, we'd probably be willing to bend it a little bit too. You know, we're
Yeah.
not one of these companies that's owned by a bank or has to adhere to certain bank guidelines. So we can do what we want to a certain extent, which is nice
Mhm.
too, you know?
It's nice to really be able to tell brokers that confidently, like they get quick answers, quick decisions. We pay commissions quick. I think that's what everyone wants. I mean, the worst feeling is getting a deal to the finish line and it gets killed, you know, at the finish line when it's something that could have been caught early on in underwriting. So that's what we're
Yeah.
trying to do.
Makes sense. And yeah, not being super rigid, you have some flexibility, kind of make an exception somewhere along the lines. It's not going to come back to haunt everyone. So that kind of plays into my next question would be what do your days consist of? Walk me through, kind of overall, right? You don't have to get too detailed, but
Well, it's a fast moving business. There's a lot of parts. So finance, process management, leads, you know, making sure that our funding specialists are working with our merchants, getting them what they need, you know, working directly with all the deal flow. There's a lot of moving parts, financials, HR, everything.
He handles a lot of the stuff that is not in my wheelhouse for the most part. You know,
you have different roles. You have some
yeah,
sort of
different
other
roles. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm looking at deals all day and communicating with brokers a lot of times. Very soon, we will probably have somebody that's like a dedicated ISO rep.
Okay.
But right now, you're either speaking to me or him,
Mhm.
and yeah, just working deals with guys most of the day and underwriting and running stuff through the system, see if
Getting
it
in there,
fits. Yeah,
going
Running
through
a
it all.
business.
yeah.
Good. Okay. So talk about this year, 2025. Obviously, we're a couple months in. It's already almost March. What are your goals for the rest of the year?
Definitely to grow and fund more deals every month. But I think a lot of people get ahead of themselves and look at that year-end target, whereas we're more month by month.
Okay.
Let's grow each month and just make sure we're growing. And we've had a record month so far this month in terms of
Nice.
units and deal flow funded, but
Good.
really just to grow. It's exciting to see the team grow, see more people come in, and yeah, just to lend more.
So talk to me about challenges then. Obviously, everyone has challenges. I mean, some are common, but anything stands out that you want to mention?
Challenge is obviously finding good people.
Yeah.
That's a big challenge, and I think in any region you're at is finding good people. But the other one is there are a lot of great brokers out there, but there are also a lot of bad ones, unfortunately. So I think a lot of what we do, what we try to train our guys to do is really educate the merchant. You know, unfortunately, a lot of them fall for that bait and switch. Guy's doing 50,000 a month and gets a call, hey, I can give you an SBA over 10 years and $500,000, and they fall for it. So we just try to tell them, look, even if it's not our offer, we at least try to steer them in the right direction. I think it's been good for us doing that. We've earned a lot of business from it.
Sure.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean it's the same thing really. You know, with the brokers, yeah, we hear that stuff too often. We have to do our due diligence to make sure we're bringing on people that we don't own the companies that they work at, but when they're representing us, which if you're trying to sell our offer, you're sort of representing us as
Right.
well. So we want to make sure that just make sure that we have the right people that are doing the right thing, you know? I mean, like I said, the ones that have been the most communicative with us and sort of know about the deal are having the most luck with us. The people that just send something over with just the bank statements in the app and no explanation, I don't think they're gonna stick it out with us too long, or we stick it out with them, you know? Because we're smaller too, you know? He and I have talked about this. We just don't want somebody blind submitting 30 deals to us a day, and they've spoke to maybe 3 of those people, and I spend half the day going through that for them in an attempt to make us and them money as well,
Yeah.
just for nothing in return, you know.
Right. Yeah, a lot of times they're just shotgunning the deal. They don't really value your time, amount of effort and time that you have to look into everything on a deal. And I was just going to add one other thing, with finding help for internally, several years ago when I was an ISO manager down here, I basically got a hold of several different ISO owners, right? So owners of broker companies, and did basically a mastermind, right? So I had them come into a meeting room like this, and we talk, sign NDAs, and then everyone could talk amongst themselves about really deep stuff. And we did it for, I think it was like 8 months, and then it, kind of just went separate ways. But the point was that the two biggest challenges they had were employment, finding good people, and then leads. So, that's what I continuously hear to this day is finding good people to work for you. South Florida, different than other places around the country. Fort Lauderdale, different than Miami, different than Palm Beach, right? So even the micro areas make a difference.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons why we got this office space. Nice place to come work. We all know you spend tons of time here.
Yeah.
So doing things like that, doing cool incentives that we try to offer, stuff for them to hit, keep them involved, and that's stuff you have to do to bring on good people.
Yep.
All right, and so talk to me about things that keep you guys motivated. Motivation can be fleeting, right? Some people have to find it like every day, every week, every month. Talk to me about some of the things that keeps you guys motivated.
Obviously, what jumps out at first is just seeing the office grow, seeing the goals that we hit start to come together and just increasing those. But obviously, we have personal goals that keep us motivated. We like certain hobbies outside of here, so some aren't cheap. So it requires being successful.
We played in a golf tournament together, so that's one of your hobbies, right?
Yep.
Actually, we just went on a skiing trip this year, so
Nice.
I think we're both business motivated. So hitting our business goals really motivates us each day.
Yourself?
Yeah, I mean, same here. I just had my first kid a couple weeks
That's
ago,
right,
so
That's
that's
right.
that's definitely a
Congratulations.
big motivating factor. But yeah, like he said too, I had always wanted to own my own business. I guess I never really knew what it was going to be until I got into this business, and I knew this was something that I'd want to do for a long time. But then also, honestly, what motivates me too is just deal flow and seeing stuff come back in. Sending it out and seeing it come back in, and seeing both of those numbers grow. The amount that goes out and the amount that's coming back in, constantly growing. That's something
That's a fun part.
makes me excited to get in here and pop open the lens sass in the morning and check
Yeah.
everything.
And it's nice too, when we have someone go to vikingfunding.com, like we had one last week. She went there on I think a Thursday morning, applied, it was approved by noon, and we had it funded by 3:00 same day.
Nice. Very
For a
nice.
company as well.
So
Okay.
so being able to really have an impact on someone who can get financing and really truly goes to the site, gets approved, and gets it funded the same day is nice.
Right. Yeah, not easily found. So yeah, small business owners are benefiting, amazingly from companies like yours.
Well, and that's the other thing too, is because we're not so big yet, doing 20, 50 deals a day like some of these companies. When somebody tells us yes, let's go, I mean, it's a pretty
Very quick.
Yeah.
process from there.
Full
Very
steam ahead.
expedited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of people throw around the hour, 2 hour turnaround, but
Yeah.
few are really true.
Right. Agreed. Yeah, there's a lot of promises out there, a lot of over promising and under delivering. So kind of to wrap this up, I know you guys got deals to fund, but tell me, commercial finance, everything kind of falls, a lot of different loan products fall under commercial finance now, according to different states and everything else. They put revenue-based financing or sales-based financing, MCA, all under one umbrella. Tell me, what are your thoughts on the state of that of the industry, right? Commercial finance overall, and anything if you would change, anything that you would change.
Well, I think the industry is growing like crazy. I mean, some of the projections that I've seen, have it growing exponentially in 2025, which I think you've seen too. And I think what's surprised a lot of people is companies like Walmart getting involved.
Yeah.
Some big brand names that people recognize getting involved in the
Sure.
space.
Yep.
Just because there's a huge niche of businesses that need served. I mean, there's a huge niche that they have sales, they have revenue, but they don't qualify for that conventional product.
Right.
So I think the industry is growing like crazy in the right direction. I think the only part that could be improved is something to where, don't want to bring up more regulation, but something to where it's a little more level of a playing field.
Yeah.
And there's not so much bait and switch.
Okay.
Because I think that's the part that's really hurting the the local business owner is that. That's what
Yeah, I mean, I agree too. That was something at the golf tournament. Actually, I think I talked to Mary at the Revenue Based Finance Coalition about it. I said, you know, what would be like really cool. I know there's a lot of good people out there, you know, a lot of good people that do it the right way, but there's just as many that don't do it the right way, which in turn puts us at risk
it
too.
puts us
You know, so I was talking to Mary, and I think I told her too, like, you know, it would be really cool if there was like something like a data merge for brokers, as that might upset some people. I mean, it's only going to upset you if you're not doing the right thing. Anybody that's doing the right thing, you're never going to end up in there.
Yeah.
Just like if you never default, you're never going to end up in data merge. I think it's a beautiful industry, and it's going to keep growing. And I think something like that would sort of help protect it for all of us that are doing the right thing. Because yeah, the last thing we want is we're trying to do the right thing every day and not put somebody out of business with a funding. There's a
Right.
lot of people that could care less about that.
they're only concerned about the one deal.
Yeah, short-term mindset, right? Just get the commission and go and move on to the next one. And it's an unfortunate part. But no, great stuff overall, guys. I really appreciate you guys having me here. Beautiful office. Again, you know, Jake and Tyler. If you have any questions for them, I'm going to have their contact information under the video. You might see them at their next convention, you never know, or at Mixers down here in Fort Lauderdale that we host. So
We're always
Thunder Intel mixers only.
That's right. That's right. All right, guys. Appreciate it. We'll see you.
Good to see you.
Thank you so
Shane.
much. All right.
Appreciate it.
all right, guys, until next time.